Hi everyone! Today we are going to be working on making a drawing that is using surrealism. So surrealism is something that looks kind of dreamlike, and for this one I'm going to start by drawing the shape of a lock, and this will be like if you were looking through a keyhole on a door and seeing something through the other side. You could also have your surrealism project be looking through an open doorway or an open window. It's up to you to decide what you would like to do. Dreams often seem familiar but don't really make sense. So for mine, I'm going to start by adding a horizon line and adding a sunset. This seems familiar because we are used to seeing sunsets in real life. Next, I decided that I will add a cactus. This will make my scene seem like it is a desert. So far my drawing makes sense, so it's time for me to start to add some things that don't really make sense. I decided that I will do this by adding a snowman that is standing in the desert. This doesn't make sense because we know it will be too hot for a snowman to live in the desert. Next, I decided to add a road that my snowmen are standing along. Lastly, I'm going to add texture around the sides of my keyhole to make it look like it is a door. To do this, I am adding some horizontal lines to mimic the look of wood grain. Later on, when I paint, I will fill this area with brown so that it looks like a door. When you begin painting, we will be using watercolor. Make sure to choose an appropriate size brush and carefully use the tip of your brush to fill your space. When you finish painting one area, make sure you move on to something that is not touching it so that your paint does not bleed into another area. Remember that the difference between bleeding and blending is that bleeding is something that happens on accident when we paint two areas that are next to each other, while blending is something that we do on purpose to mix colors. On my example, I may choose to blend in my sunset, but I would want to make sure it doesn't bleed anywhere else. Continue painting until you have filled all of your space. Be sure to take breaks anywhere where the paint is touching another wet area. At the end of class, carefully pick up your painting by pinching it on two sides. Walk to the red line with your painting and hand it to a teacher to be put in the appropriate shelf. Be sure that you tell your teacher which table you sit at.